Who's watching? Leave a comment. I'll watch a video later. Leave a comment so that I can watch your video later. Thanks, everybody. Traffic already. Conrado Baldos, Migashara, my friend. How are you? Thanks for watching. Watch your video later, my friend. Ah, okay. Is this your Benedict? Is this Benedict Nicolas? Ah, okay. You got another account. Or is this a friend of Benedict Nicolas? Kumusta kabayan? Watch your video later, guys. This is not Benedict Nicolas. A friend of Benedict Nicolas. Thank you so much, Conrado Baldos. Thanks for watching. Watch your video later. How are you today? Indec TV Vlogs, mega shout out. This is Benedict Nicolas. Thanks, Benedict Nicolas. So watch your playlist later, kabayan. Kumusta? Busy working. Friday today, work. Going to my client in Armadale. It's about like 35 minutes drive from here to my next client. Working too hard. Yesterday I finished like 6 o'clock. Today I might be finished a bit late as well. Working tomorrow. Monday is a holiday, still work. But Tuesday I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to America on Tuesday for 3 weeks. Going to Honolulu, Hawaii for a holiday, for a break. We cannot just work all the time, guys. Life, for me, life is traveling. If I cannot travel, I will be like not satisfied in my life. I love to travel. I love to see the world. I'm not rich, but I make little bit money and I travel. I want to see the world. God's creation is beautiful. So I like to travel. I was so feeling so sad and lonely and depressed during the pandemic because I cannot go anywhere outside Australia. So it was very, very sad. It's like I felt so depressed. Staying in the house for 6 months is ridiculously. I stopped working because I cannot work. I feel so depressed because we cannot travel at all on that time pandemic for nearly 2 years, and which is very sad for me. So I don't want to work even on that time. My job is looking after people, but I said I cannot work. I feel so sad. I'm too scared of the virus as well. So I didn't work for 6 months because of the pandemic. But even though on that time we can still make money because we're like first, we're frontliner. So we can work whatever, you can work as long as you want. But I said to myself, no, I'm not working. I don't want money. I feel so sad because I cannot travel. What's the use? I'm not making money. I cannot travel, so I don't want to make money. For me, it's enough to survive, to eat, sleep, and have a roof in my head. That's it. If I cannot go anywhere, there's no use of working like a dog because there's no use of the money. I'm like saying to myself like, well, I cannot travel. I've got what's the use of making so much money like work like a dog? Well, you cannot even see the world. You cannot travel outside Australia. And I was like myself, no. So as long as I'm not dying of starvation, I have rope in my head, I'm healthy, I'm not sick, and my kids are not sick, then I'm happy. So now the borders are open, the world is open. Now I work like a dog so that I can travel all over the world. So I'm going to Hawaii next week. Next week. So I'm still want to work on the day before I go to the flight. Still want to make money so that I have enough more money to spend to travel for 3 weeks in Hawaii. I want to see Hawaii. I want to spend time with my relatives that I didn't see them for 35 years. My grandmother was born in Hawaii, so I want to see the place that she was born. When she gets so sick, she went back to Philippines because no one can look after her, and it's too expensive there as well. So yeah, so she went back to Philippines when she was dying. She died of lung cancer, and it was she already had a good life. Well, she had, I don't know how many years she went back to Hawaii. She stayed there for I don't know, maybe 15 years. Then she gets so sick. She was like 69 when she died. So yeah, so it's not really most of her lifetime was in the Philippines because when she was born in Hawaii, she moved to Philippines, got this big boat, something like that, during the war. And then after that, for a while, she had kids in the Philippines. My mom is the second child. I think she's the second or third. Not sure. Because I didn't spend much time of most of my uncles because they went back to Hawaii. So the American embassy was looking for my grandma and the kids as well to take them back to Hawaii because she was like American. Yeah, so when they went back there with my uncles and their kids, we're the only family members left in the Philippines. Oh no, and apart from that is one my youngest auntie, because she don't want to go back to she don't want to go to Hawaii because she met this guy, Filipino guy, and then she was thinking if she went back to Hawaii, she needs to leave that guy because they were single on that time. They weren't married on that time when they decided to go back to Hawaii. So she said I think she really loved that guy because she doesn't want to leave him. After that, she could be have a good life there and take all her kids as well. But love is very powerful. You cannot force someone because she was an adult already at that time. She was really falling in love with that guy or whatever, lust or love, whatever. So she didn't went back to Hawaii. She stayed in the Philippines, including my mom. My mom was like they only have two girls, my mom and my auntie, the youngest one. So they stayed in the Philippines. The rest of the kids went to Hawaii with my grandma. So yeah, and the kids, my mom was different. She wants to go to Hawaii, but she's a bit stubborn. She didn't follow the instruction from those people who tried to help them back to Hawaii. It's like the agent. She didn't follow the instruction. When the embassy, U.S. embassy, um, interviewed all of them, she's the only one don't want to didn't follow the instruction. She thought the people from the embassy think that she was lying, so they disapprove her paper. The rest of the brothers went to back to Hawaii with my grandma. So that's why we stayed in the Philippines, and she's still in the Philippines until now. But I think she's when I came to Australia, and my sister went to she was married to this American guy in San Diego, and then she don't really want to go to well, I took them here, my mom and dad, to Australia, and because she was most of her lifetime was in the Philippines, she was like feeling lonely when she came here because she kind of it's pretty quiet here in Australia because I live in Western Australia. Is like it's a big place, big space of land. We only have 3 million population here in Western Australia, so it's pretty quiet. Even though it's a rich country, nice and clean, but my mom used most of her lifetime while living in the Philippines. It's very noisy. Like the neighbors sit close to each other. They talk a lot. They like gossiping, all those things, and she loves company like that. She came here with my dad. They feel so lonely because I work. Most of the people here work. They want to make money. They don't want to stay in the house like gossiping or you know, like they stayed. Most Filipinos they stayed in the house. Like the they they love to talk with their neighbors, spend time with their friends like that. Um, I think because of the less opportunity there, and it's crowded place, crowded country. So my mom feel lonely here when she came to Australia with my dad. Both of them, oh my dad, they only talk to each other. I work most of the time, and the grandkids goes to school. And my dad cannot speak English, so she's really feeling lonely. She don't have friends here. So they stayed for 3 months. When I'm not working, I take them anywhere part of Western Australia, so that they can have fun or something like that. So they don't feel lonely. But because of the lifestyle is so different, like most people go to work, they don't have what's that? It's just the lifestyle is different, the environment is different, but she's not used to it with a quiet place, like very quiet, like far away neighbor, like not much company for them. So even though she was with my dad, she's still feeling lonely. She misses her grandkids. I said to her, I didn't see you for 22 years. I brought you here so that you can spend time with me, with your grandkids, which is I have 6 kids. The thing is, my dad cannot speak English, so she will not understand my kids. My kids, they speak little bit Tagalog because they watch Filipino movie. But my husband doesn't want me to teach the kids to speak Visayan because of course he cannot speak Visayan. They get upset when I talk to them in Visayan, which is my main dialect in the Philippines. Even though they watch like Filipino movie like that, so this can speak little bit English, Tagalog, but not Visayan. Well, now I try to teach them Visayan language, but it's pretty hard for them to learn. So my dad cannot understand my kids. Just a few words. Just a few words. Speak little bit English. Just really a few words. Some is crop and arts. Make a shout out. So they feel so lonely after 3 months. They want to go back to Philippines. And I said to them, I want to extend your visa for 1 year because I want you to spend more time here in Australia. It's very clean. They have nice, good food, fresh vegetable and fruits, and very clean air. Less stress, not noisy place. You can't relax here. You can have really peaceful life in Australia. Less crime. Is like compared to other country, Australia is much safer because we don't allow like guns. Only those authorities who have authorized to have guns. Unless you own a farm, you can have gun, but you still need to register your gun or else you're in trouble. So not many people in Australia have guns because we don't have that law to have guns here. So unless you're doing like illegally, but when they found out that you have guns and it's not registered and you're not allowed to have guns, like you don't own the farm because they use guns to shoot birds and kangaroo, whatever like that. But if you don't own a farm and you're not a policeman or you're not like a authorized to have guns, you are not allowed to have gun here. Imbaktin, Karyaten, make a shout out Sumi Scrap and Arts, BN Endek TV Vlogs. Watch your playlist later, guys. Leave a comments or watch your video later. So yeah, so it's pretty safe here in Australia, especially Western Australia. It's safe. It's pretty safe. So that's why it's less crime. Leonie Ariola, make a shout out. So the only little bit problem here is the drugs. Because people can afford, they have money, so they buy drugs. Once you taste the drug once in your life, that's it. You get addicted to it. So you know that it's bad for you, so you don't taste it. You don't even touch these chemicals. Put into your mouth, and that's it. You get addicted. If in Australia, because we have people here have money, they work, they have money, government help them a lot. So they have money. So that's why drug smugglers are coming here and selling drugs on the street like that. So that's what people got addicted, and drugs here is pretty bad. But it's still less crime to compared to other country. It's this like the crime rate here is pretty low, especially in Western Australia, because it's the lifestyle. People got money, so they don't need to steal, unless you are homeless, like you are a drug addict or you're a drunken person, so you cannot get a job. But still, the government help you, so you have money. So once you taste the drugs, illegal drugs, then you get addicted. So it's like more here are like the drug addicts steal your things, but it's not really like very common. Like you don't need to steal here because you're dying of starvation. I never heard no one will die of starvation in Australia. It's a rich country. But because of drugs, they steal things from other people to sell drugs, to buy drugs. That's the only thing. But they don't kill human being because they steal money. They only steal money. Most of them, I never heard like crimes that they kill someone because of money, no. Unless you're very rich. But rich people are really very, very safe house. Like they are like fully security house. So no one can attack them, of course. So the crime rate is very low here. population, people work a lot, government help a lot, so you don't need to steal money because you die of starvation. No, it's not here. It's not common in Australia because the government are looking after the people. We have a good we, uh, we have a good healthcare system, one of the best in the world. And doctors, if you're not like a high income earner, doctors are free, hospital is free, education is even education is free unless you take them to the private school. You pay more. But education here is pretty good. If you want to go to college and you cannot afford, government will give you allowance, and then you come borrow from the government. Doesn't matter what you want to do. You want to become a doctor, scientist, whatever you want to do. Government will let you borrow the money, and then they give you allowance to study. So its education is pretty good here. Health system, judicial system is really good. It's pretty good. I've rarely heard in Australia politicians are corrupt. They're not corrupt. Most of them are pretty honest people. That's why Australia is a rich country, because the politicians are pretty honest. They look after the people. They look after the country. They look after the... It's just really good. It's very rare here politicians go to jail because they steal money. No. When the ombudsman found out that one of the politicians used or steal the people's money from the taxpayer, you will be in a big trouble. You could go to jail for it. So that's why politicians don't want to steal money here, because we are pretty they're gonna be punished. And then I don't know why Australian politicians are really honest people. Maybe because they're already rich, they have money. They don't need to steal money from the people of Australia. They use that money to make Australia better. So economy getting stronger. People are look after like that. So I really love Australia because of that. In every way, it's very clean country. It's so clean. When I can go to different country, I get really I feel strange because compared to other country, like it's pretty bad. Even I went to America, there's some places in America is pretty bad. There's a lot of homeless like that. In Australia, you can find people homeless, but not much, not many. They're not really like poor. They are just drug addicts. They are become homeless. They don't want to work, and they use their money for drugs. That's why they're become homeless. But I don't see them often on the street, like compared to America. It's pretty bad. I went to Los Angeles. It's a lot of homeless people. Like almost around every street, it's got homeless people. There are some part of America as pretty bad. Compared to Australia, even the poorest of the poor here, I don't see them like they're not homeless, because we have pretty good economy here. Like, because as well of the government are looking after people. Like, you cannot be homeless unless you're a drug addict and you just don't look after your money. You don't want to work. You still get money from the government, but that person maybe using the money for something else. That's why they become homeless. They use the money for drugs, and maybe they're very bad tenant. Once you are a bad tenant, you destroy the house, you will rent people's house, and you destroy the people's house, then you will have bad record there. So when the landlord found out the records of all the tenants on the internet there, on the online, telling you that you're a bad tenant, you don't pay rent, you destroy, you damage houses, then the landlords will not let you stay in their house, or you're not be accepted. That's why you become homeless, and it's your fault. You don't damage people's property. You're only there to rent the house. You're not damaging the house. So you become homeless. That's why you become homeless here. Or you're a drug addict, you use your money to buy drugs, and then you become homeless. But the majority here, very low percentage in Australia that you can find homeless people. Very low. Because it's a rich country. Um, I don't know, because of the politics are good. Politicians here are very honest, good people, honest people. They don't steal taxpayers' money. So the main thing is the people who rule the country. If they are dishonest people and they steal money from the country, then the country gets really poor. And it really depends. The politicians and the people who live in the country, that they love to work, they pay the tax properly, they're honest people, they pay the tax like that, then the country gets really rich. Doesn't matter, you know. Well, in Western Australia, our main income here is mining company are the one who's making Western Australia really rich because of the mining company. We have a lot of gold, coal. We produce most of the coals in other countries, like especially China. Most of their coals come from Australia. So we make that's our main income here. In Western Australia is the one contributing a lot of those income to Australia because of the mining. And just the people are very hardworking people. Politicians are honest. So Australia gets really rich. Our economy in Western Australia is pretty strong. One of the strongest state of Australia is Western Australia. And that's the fact, because I watch news. Our premier is one of the best premier in Australia. He look after the people. Western Australia is the last state who died of the virus, coronavirus, because we have a very strict border restriction. So our premier is one of the best for me. I just wish and pray that he will become a prime minister of Australia, because he's a very good prime minister, premier. He really look after the people. So I cannot imagine if he opened the borders during the pandemic, there's gonna be a lot of people died compared to other state of Australia. Has a lot of death there because they just not so strict of it. Western Australia, we are very strict, so we have less death of the pandemic. So until the vaccine came, and we are like 80% of vaccinated people, then that's the time we open the border. 80 to 90 percentage of people who had been vaccinated in Western Australia. So that's it. And then the premier said, okay, we can open the border. We're ready to open the border. So every people around the world, they're welcome to come to Western Australia, because the population here likes like 88 to 85 to 99 or 90% of people is being vaccinated. So that's why we have less death in Western Australia during the pandemic. And I was so grateful for that, because I live here. Is one of the best country in the world, one of the best state of Australia, Western Australia. We're like very lucky here. So lucky. I must done something really good in my last life to be most of my lifetime where live here in Western Australia, which is really beautiful country, beautiful place to live with. This country, very peaceful, clean, quiet. I hate noise. When I go back to Philippines, as soon as I get off the plane, the noise is like a hell noise. Like it's so noisy that goes to my ear. Like I get like my God, my eardrums like, oh my God, what is this noise? Like incredible noise. My God, it's like a hell on earth because of the noise, the noise and the dirt. I can't believe it. I was like thinking because I've been here for a long time, I get strange. My immune system change, completely change. I get sick easily there when I go back. The dust. So I think my immune system gets really it's not getting as like strong as before. Like I can live anywhere, any part of Philippines. But now I get sick easily, especially from the food and water. I get very sick. Last time I went back to Philippines 6 months ago, I was hospitalized in the middle of the night because I got this food poisoning that nearly kills me. I was like, cannot stop diarrhea, cannot stop vomiting. My God. I just eat this small slimy pork, skin pork, and that's it that make me sick. Like it was like really bad food poisoning. That's the first time I've experienced food poisoning in my life. It was terrible. If I didn't go to the hospital and I cannot stop doing diarrhea, to have diarrhea and vomiting, you could die for dehydration. You get so weak and you got no water in my body anymore, and you could die for it. You could die for that type of disease like that. Because when you just cannot stop, it's terrible. You need to go straight away to the emergency for that type of situation. Because it's life threatening. It's scary. I was like, my gosh. And that place that we ate, we went to the most expensive hotel in Samar. The food is pretty expensive and I still get food poisoning. I'm scared to eat on the those small restaurant near the road, like the street food. I'm scared unless it's so hot. You only eat hot food or under 5 degrees Celsius, that's safe to eat. But if you don't know what's the temperature of that food, how long they've been on the outside, don't eat that food because that can give you food poisoning. That can give you food poisoning, guys. It's not safe. It's scary. When you have the food poisoning, you could kill it. Could kill you. It could kill you. It's very dangerous. Thanks so much for watching M. Baktin Karya 10. Thanks so much. Luna Ariola, M. Thank you so much, guys. Leave a comments. I'll watch your video later. Thank you, guys. I'm going to my client now. My last client. So, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Watch your video later, guys. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Bye.